What is going on, guys? You got Tone here. I'm bringing you week 3 of the NPL Minors season number 2. It has been a while since I uploaded anything to the channel. I apologize for that. I've just been busy with school and other league stuff. So, with that out of the way, I'm just going to give a brief rundown of this team, what I brought against my opponent, Mind Warrior 49, coach of the New Jersey Jumpluffs. He had a very threatening team in general, and I had to do a lot of prep work, which is kind of annoying, but at the same time, I had to make sure I had all my bases covered. His team, as an overview, is he has Scizor, Latias, Tornadus T, Entei, Crocodile, Seismitoad, Chestnut, Drapion, Electivire, Lapras, and Mega Diancie. And of course, my team is Volcanion, Excadrill, Salamence, Florges, Shaman, Hippowdon, Keldeo, Jolteon, Ranunculus, Mega Pidgeot, and the Spiritomb. So, with that out of the way, I'm just going to run down the team that I brought versus Mind Warrior 49. So, first up, you see Captain Magma, the Volcanion, running Scald, Flamethrower, Toxic, and Hidden Power Grass. These 3 moves pretty much covers a vast majority of the team. It hits everything for at least neutral damage except for the Latias, which I have Toxic for to try to catch on the switch. Scald over Steam Eruption for more PP. Spread, it still hits very, very hard with Stab. Potentially burn the Scizor, burn Tornadus T, Flamethrower also hits the Scizor, hits the Chestnut, and HP Grass is here for the Seismitoad, mostly for the Seismitoad and for the Lapras. Pretty much running a bulky Volcanion spread here, max HP at an odd number, so I take less damage from Stealth Rock. Enough speed to outspeed an uninvested Seismitoad, so I can hit with an HP Grass, and the rest is in special attack with a Modest Nature, give it that extra boost in power. I initially had Shuckleberry over Leftovers, but if he does run like a defensive, Seismitoad, then I'll have to worry about being outsped and all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure I can take an Earth Power, no problem. So not that big of a deal. So next up, we have Gloria the Hippowdon with a sort of interesting moveset, not really interesting moveset, but an interesting item. As I have Stealth Rock, Slack Off, Stone Edge, and Earthquake, and I'm holding Float Stone. Running a specially defensive spread. I really wanted to run Whirlwind, but I really couldn't fit it on this set. I really wish I could. Stone Edge is for the Tornadus T, which is one of the reasons why I have Floatstone on this Hippowdon. So basically, what Floatstone does is, as you see, the holder's weight is cut in half. So I'm 100% expecting Tornadus T in this battle, and I am 100% expecting that Tornadus T to have Grass Knot. Floatstone cuts Hippowdon's weight in half, and normally Grass Knot would be a base 120. Power move against Hippowdon, and that would be like do like a good 70-80%, even with specially defensive. Floatstone, since Hippowdon's weight will be cut in half, Grass Knot's power drops from 120 base power to 60 base power. So with the Floatstone, I should be able to take 2 Grass Knots from a Life Orb or Tornadus T. Life Orb, Tornadus T, or Tornadus T in general. And if he has Life Orb, and if he's in range of Stone Edge, I can go for it. Stone Edge uninvested does about 65 to 70% to a Tornadus. So Floatstone, like I said, specifically for Grass on Tornadus T, which I'm 100% expecting him to bring. Stealth Rock just to get a hazard, Slack Off to keep it Hippowdon healthy, and Edgequake combination. The main thing that I'm facing on this team is like a sub Calm Mind Latias, because I do not have hazard removal. I don't have Whirlwind to phase it out. So he can freely sub Calm Mind against me, which is a problem. So that being said, next up we do have Apollo the Keldeo running sub Endeavor. One of my responses to the Latias, so to speak, if I can get in Salic range, I can Endeavor down to 1 HP. And if there's Sand up, Keldeo will go down, but so will the Latias. And then Skull Secret Sword for stab. Max special attack. Running enough speed on my Keldeo to outspeed base 95s. So if he brings like a Choice Scarf Crocodile or Choice Scarf Electivire, I'll be faster, and then from there I can just Endeavor down to like 1 HP, and then Scald or Secret Sword, depending on the situation. So, and the rest is just put into HP. So let's try to give it as bulky a sub as possible. So on to the next Pokemon, we have Baymax the Ranunculus, Recover, Hidden Power Fire, Side Shock, and Signal Beam. Rocking the Cobra Berry so I can take a knockoff from the Crocodile or the Scizor. And then retaliate with either Signal Beam or HP Fire depending on the situation. If you know the EV spread, it's pretty much standard Smogon OU Ranunculus EV spread, where I can take 2 Moonblasts from a naive Mega Diancie. The issue, of course, would be the potential special attack drop, but Side Shock still has a good chunk of damage to Mega Diancie since its defense is lower upon Mega Evolution, and the lack of recovery means that it should be a good 3-hit KO as long as I do not get the special attack drops from getting hit by Moonblast. So this is basically my way of dealing with Scizor, Crocodile. I do have to be careful though, because I really wanted to bring Calm Mind, but I couldn't, because if I brought Side Shock and Cinder Beam, I couldn't do much to Scizor, and he had ways of wearing down my Volcanion. And if I brought Slash Shock, Hidden Power Fire, I couldn't do much to Crocodile. And he could Pursuit Trap me, predicting that. And again, my Crocodile switch-ins on this team don't really have much, because I'd be relying on my Hippowdon to take an Earthquake, and getting repetitively worn down over the course of the match isn't what I want, especially considering that I have Excadrill relying on Hippowdon's Sand. So with that being said, here is my Excadrill set of Swords Dance, Earthquake, Iron Head, X Scissor, Life Orb, Sand Rush. Enough speed again to outspeed Jolly base 95 Scarfers, like the Scarf Excadrill, Scarf Electivire, sorry, and Scarf Crocodile. I outspeed them in Sand. Earthquake and Iron Head are necessary stabs, and X Scissor deals with the Latias, excuse me. So this is pretty much going to be sort of like my late game win con in this battle. I could have run max speed, but there wasn't really much I could have thought of at the time when I first built this team. So you're gonna see in the battle that X sort of cost me a bit, but I'll explain my thought process during the battle. And last but not least, we have Jolteon as in here. Life Orb, Volt Absorb, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Signal Beam, and HP Grass for the Seismitoad. It's the Crocodile for a good amount of damage. Just ranking up speed to outspeed, I believe his fastest Pokemon is the Tornadus T, yes. So enough speed for Tornadus T, as it's his fastest non-Scarf Pokemon. The rest is in HP, which is nice, which also lets Jolteon hit a Life Orb number. So, and depending on what he brings, I can I either freely Volt Switch if he doesn't bring like Crocodile or Seismitoad, and if he does bring like something that can actually take a hit from Jolteon, he doesn't bring Crocodile or Seismitoad, like a Spinef, especially defensive Chestnut, that could be a thing. Latias can take a Signal Beam pretty decently, at least 2. So I really have to be careful about things like the Latias, the Chestnut, which can freely like spike stack on my team as I'm not running rapid spin on my Excadrill, which is problematic because my Volcanian's already weak to rocks and spikes damage doesn't help it out in the long run. It would benefit my Keldeo somewhat because it would get it closer to Salic, it would get it in Salic range faster. But like I said, I have to keep these things in mind as depending on what he brings. So with that being said, I'm now going to switch over to the battle. So alright guys, we are back with week 3 of the season 2 of the NPL Minors, up against Mind Warrior 49 and New Jersey Jumpluffs. So his team was sort of what I expected a little bit with the Tornado ST, Latias, Crocodile, or the Siphon Tail was going to come. I knew Mega Diancie was a sure enough option, and then Scizor, and he also brings the Chestnut. So it's pretty clear that his idea most likely is to hazard stack against my team, which does make a lot of sense because I do have a lot of bulky mons that do give his some of his sweepers, like a potential Calm Mind Latias, some issues. So looking at the potential lead matchup, I figured he would either lead Diancie or Crocodile. I was hoping Diancie would try to get the Mega off pretty safely, so I tried to take advantage of this by leading off with my Volcanion, I believe. So, but instead he decided to lead off with the Chestnut. So I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I led off with a Powdon, thinking he would lead off with Diancie, as I would still get a good matchup either way. But I figured since he led off with the Chestnut here, his game plan initially was to apply pressure to my team with spikes early, or his could potentially be Belly Drum Chestnut. He's trying to nuke me in one go. So I didn't want to take the chance early, so I'm still early on with my Powdon because I still needed it for my Excadrill's Sand Rush. So I decided to hard switch out here, go into my Ranunculus here as he goes for a layer of spikes, which is fine. I do go for the Side Shock here as he goes into the Scizor. As it takes really nothing. I go for Hidden Power here as he knocks off. I eat my Cobra Berry. Don't take much from it, but doesn't knock out the Scizor. He goes for Bug Bite here as I go for another Hidden Power Fire, which does knock out the Scizor. Now he goes into a Tornadus here. I could have preserved this somewhat, but the thing is, I didn't really have a switch into Tornadus because I needed Volcanion at a decent amount of health. And switching directly into Tornadus as he goes for like a Hurricane was asking for trouble, and I couldn't risk Keldeo because that's also asking for trouble. So I decided to let my Ranunculus go down here to the Heat Wave. So also abilities Life Orb Tornado ST, which is fine. I do get a switch into my Jolteon for free. I decided to go for Single here, predicting the Latias, but he decides to go to the Chestnut here, which was a nice middle ground play on his part. So from here, I go for the Volt Switch, and I go, excuse me, I go directly out into my Keldeo here as he decides to go for a Seed Bomb, which does do a good amount of damage, but it does allow me to get up a substitute as he goes for Spiky Shield. Now here is where I made a misplay after I ate my Salic Berry. So what I should have did this turn was, after I got the sell off and I'm at +1 speed, what I should have did this turn was go directly for Endeavor and then go for the Skull or Secret Sword, whatever. Instead, I make a misplay and I ended up doing the exact inverse. So I went for Skull this turn, hoping I get a burn. Unfortunately, I don't. He breaks my sub with the Seed Bomb. Now I go for Endeavor here, just get down, equal HP, and now my Keldeo drops before I take out the Chestnut, which is dumb on my part. So now I go into my Excadrill here as I try to fire off an Iron Head. He goes for Spiky Shield, just trying to get chip damage off of my Excadrill, which is fine. So I get to go for Iron Head one more time and knock out the Chestnut. And now I decide to go out into a Tornadus here. I need to keep my Excadrill healthy, so I go out into my Volcanion as it goes for a Heat Wave, which does absolutely nothing. So from here, I decided to go for a Toxic, trying to predict the Latias, but he stays to go for the Hurricane, he connects, and unfortunately I missed my Toxic. now I'm forced to sack off my full candy as he goes for Grass Knot. But now that I see the Grass Knot, I'm gonna go out into my Hippowdon here, specifically for this reason. Like I said in the team builder, I have Floatstone on this Hippowdon specifically for Grass Knot Tornadus T. I can take one Grass Knot, and the Hippowdon Stone Edge can potentially knock out the Tornadus from the range of HP that it's at. With that being said, though, I do make a very risky play here, because I could have immediately just gone on into Jolteon and click Thunderbolt. If he goes into Crocodile, that's fine. I just Signal Beam it, or just essentially just try to sack it off. So, I get a little bit antsy, so to speak, because I saw the Grass Knot, and I'm like, okay, I could easily take this Grass Knot. I'm Floatstone. That shouldn't be a problem at all. And unfortunately, he crits me. Which is very unfortunate for two reasons. One, because I knew I could take a stone. I knew I could take the Grass Knot, and I knew Stone Edge would have knocked him out. The other issue was, now that he took out my Hippowdon, I'm forced to go to my Excadrill to make use of the rest of the Sand turns. If Tornadus was gone, he was forced to go into the into his Latias, and then I would try to get damage off on that, or I was essentially going to sack off a Hippowdon anyway, but it would give me a switch into either Jolteon or Excadrill, but it sucks nonetheless. So here I'm forced to go into my Excadrill to make up for the use of the rest of the Sand turns, take out the Tornadus T with the Iron Head here. Here was another misplay on my part here. Because I had EV'd this Excadrill to outspeed Scarf base 95s. It was only until I saw the battle that, oh crap, I didn't prepare for a potential Scarf Latias, which does outspeed my Excadrill with the EVs that I have. Then I'm thinking, oh crap, if he Scarf Latias, then I lose, because I need Excadrill to X-Scissor on the Latias, X-Scissor the Crocodile, and then Iron Head the Mega Diancie. But unfortunately, he was Scarf Latias, and down goes my Excadrill, and that pretty much is game. So, last Pokemon's Jolteon, as he goes for Surf, doesn't take me out yet. Go for Signal Beam, do a good amount of damage, I don't get no confusion, but I died a Life Orb, bit recoil anyway. He finished me off the next Surf, and that's unfortunately is going to be a good game. So, that is an unfortunate 3-0 loss. I did make a bunch of misplays in this battle. But even if I did correct the way I played during the battle, there was the Scarf Keldeo, the Sub Endeavor Keldeo I played bad with. I shouldn't have sacked off. I shouldn't have went for Skull before going for Endeavor, and then of course there was the unfortunate Grass Knot crit with the Life Orb Tornadus T on my Hippowdon. But even if I was able to beat the Excadrill, even if my Excadrill was outsped the Scarf Latias, which it did if I had more speed, I still had to deal with a full HP Crocodile and a full HP Mega Diancie, which if the sand runs out, Excadrill is slower than Mega Diancie and slower than Crocodile. And then Jolteon cannot take out a full HP Crocodile 1v1, and Hidden Power Grass wouldn't take out a Diancie from full either, even if it did crit. So, just to show, not trying to be salty or anything, like, I take this loss. The loss is on 100% on me. He prepped. He had a great team. He prepped better than I did. I didn't account for a bunch of stuff on his team, so that's totally my fault. But just to clarify the whole Floatstone Hippowdon scenario here, so here is a calc I have here of what Grass Knot normally does to a specially defensive Hippowdon. As you see, Life Orb, Tornadus T, Grass Knot, base 120 power versus a fully specially defensive Hippowdon. On a critical hit, normally 75% chance of no one-hit KO. With no... oh wait. let me get rid of the leftovers real quick. This was not leftovers, it was floatstone. So there we go. Well, it's still a 70% chance to 1-hit KO. So nonetheless, so I could have lived, but if I was not floatstone. So what I'm going to show you is what would have happened if floatstone did come into effect. So here I have taken Hippopotas, the pre-evolved form of Hippowdon, and I gave Hippopotas Hippowdon's base stats just to show Grass Knot, because with floatstone cutting the Pokemon's weight in half, like I said, Grass Knot would go from being a 120 base power move to a 60 base power move, and Hippopotas is, it takes it's 60 base power Grass Knot against it, fully specially defensive and all that stuff. And as you see from the calc, a Life Orb and AST Grass Knot from a critical hit, it's a guarantee to a KO. It does 40 on a crit, 48 to 57%, and then I would have Stone Edged from the range of HP was at, so Stone Edge, there you go, Stone Edge did 64 75%. So if I connect the Stone Edge and then a round of, after the Life Orb recoil, go for Stone Edge. If that doesn't take it out, the Sand's damage probably would have. It wouldn't change the fact that I lost. It probably would have made the differential a little bit closer, like instead of being a 3-0, probably a 2-0. But what's done is done. So I just try to clarify what my thought process was into bringing Floatstone Hippowdon over Smooth Rock. So with this loss, we are now, I believe, 2-3, no, 1-3 with this loss. So 1-3 with a differential of -8. So I have my work cut out for me. So the next battle will be my week number 7 or week number 6 battle, one of the two. Whichever one comes first. So hope you guys enjoyed my crazy innovation of trying to make Floatstone work in league competitive formatting. But nonetheless, if you did enjoy, feel free to hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe, because I'm going to be uploading a lot more of these battles, NPO minors. And soon enough, I'm going to have like a huge video of the IBL matches that I forgot to upload. It's just going to be one bulky recording of my last 4 battles, or I think it was. So stay tuned and look out for that as well. So subscribe, hit that like button if you enjoyed the battle, leave some comments. But in any case, I'm gonna get the heck out of here. So till the next time, my name is Anthony, aka Tone. I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip side. Later.